ayatapatra netra yena tvaya bharata taila purna prajvalito jnanamaya pradeepa. Om Dhyanamoolam gururmurti Pujamoolam gururpadam Mantramoolam gururvacham Mokshamoolam gururkripa. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Paramanandamadhavam. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Maharani ki jai. Hari Om. Last time we have completed our 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Kshetra Jnana or Jnana Vijnana Yoga. And we had started 14th chapter, which is named as division of the three gunas. This is a supplementary to our knowledge, the supreme knowledge. When you know the qualities, three qualities by the help of which the supreme power does all the activities, by the help of three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas, it creates the world, all these innumerable worlds. It creates, it sustains, and it destroys also. And you will be wonderstruck. This supreme power even creates the great Vishnu, the all-pervading existence, which is the root cause of all these creations, and it, Vishnu, sustains everything, protects everything, all these created worlds, and in the end, our Lord Shiva destroys everything. All these, Brahma is the creator. Brahma is created by the Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva destroys the creation. All these three aspects are created by the manifested supreme power. So, you can imagine how important this power is. Energy, the whole creation is nothing but play of energy only. And this energy acts in mysterious ways. We have to understand its ways so that we can get rid of its clutches. Of course, no, but it is not so easy a job. But somehow or other, to know the secrets is impossible because it deludes everyone. Our mind is incapable of understanding the capacity, the way process, the working process of the supreme power. Human mind is not capable enough to understand the ways of mysterious ways of this supreme power, but yet we can try to understand somewhat the gross ways, if not the subtlemost ways. At least we can have some understanding and have some trial. That much we can do. And of course, this human mind or intellect, you may say, when it becomes purified, slowly, gradually, in long course of time, continuous practice, sincere practice, abhyas, and this again and again contemplation over it. When this intellect, human intellect gets purified, slowly it can become one-pointed, and as long as the mind has not attained that one-pointedness and it has not been stopped completely, disappeared completely, and become one with the absolute truth, till then it is impossible to understand the ways of Maya, the supreme power. So it is said, Achintya Rupa Charite. It is beyond the imagination of human intellect, the ways of supreme power, how it acts, how it prompts everyone, all the beings to activate and go on helping her magic show. Somehow or other we shall try to understand whatever we can, and thereby we will be, if we are sincere, we are regular, we are honest, then slowly, by and by, in course of time, one day or other, by the grace of Guru, by the grace of Lord Supreme Truth, by the grace of the same supreme power. By the grace of all the authoritative scriptures and by the grace of our self-effort, in the course of time we will be able to understand little of the mysteries of supreme power. Let us try. After explaining the Prakriti and Purusha Vibhaga Yoga, Prakriti, the primordial nature, and Purusha, the holder of it, the sustainer of the power. These two facts are explained in 13th chapter, and one who knows these two facts perfectly, thoroughly well, and how this body is created and who is the creator of the body, who activates this body, what for, and who is the knower and the root cause of this body and its activities. All these are explained, the supreme knowledge, in the 13th chapter. And now Lord says, Param bhuyaha pravakshami jnananam jnanamuttamam yajgyatva munaya sarve param siddhimito gataha. I shall tell you, Arjuna, I will again declare to thee the supreme knowledge, the best of all knowledge, having known which all the sages have gone to the supreme perfection after this life. After this life, maybe one or maybe many, but they attain this supreme knowledge, self-realization. It is not impossible, but not easy. So, Lord gives the clues of these explanations of this active process of Maya, or this Prakriti, the primordial nature. How does it activate and forces everyone to do something or other, and how it binds, as it were, to this cycle of birth and death. Lord explains, I will again declare to thee that supreme knowledge, the best of all knowledge, having known which all the sages have gone to the supreme perfection after this life. Further analysis of the field is made in this chapter. In the 13th chapter we saw the field, the body, which is called the field, and the knower of the field, and all about this. And after that, Lord says, I shall tell you further the explanation and all the loopholes, all the secrets, knowing which many great sages have attained the highest. In chapter 13, verse 21, it has been stated that attachment to the qualities is the cause of samsara, or birth in good and evil wombs. In this chapter, the Lord gives answers to the questions. What are the questions? What are the qualities of nature? In 13th chapter, 20 verse, we have seen the attachment to the qualities. There are, of course, three. The attachment to the qualities forces the being to be entangled in the cycle of birth and death. So naturally these questions arise. How does it make so? And what are the qualities? How the nature binds the beings? All these natural questions are answered in detail in this chapter. How do they bind a man? How the qualities bind the man? What are the characteristics of these qualities? How do they operate? How can one obtain freedom from them? And what are the characteristics of a liberated soul? When one gets rid of all these qualities and bondage of these qualities, how does he behave? What does he do? All these questions are but natural. So in this chapter, Lord gives details of all these questions, answers of all these questions. All knowledge has no reference to knowledge described in chapter 13, verses 7 to 10, but it refers to that kind of knowledge which concerns sacrifices. That kind of knowledge which relates to sacrifices cannot give liberation. But the knowledge which is going to be imparted in the discourse, in this discourse, will clarify certainly, which lead to emancipation. Clarity will be given here. Which kind of knowledge gives you freedom from all these bondage of cycle of birth and death, and what is binds you? What does bind you, and what takes you away from it? All these clarities will be given in this chapter. Still more clearly, there are two kinds of actions. One is cause for bondage and one is cause for liberation. So, sacrifices with desire, they are of course good karmas. They lead you to higher planes, which is already described in 13th chapter. And after enjoying the good results of all these meritorious deeds in the higher planes, circular planes, again the man has to come down to earthly plane and gets entangled into this cycle of birth and death, and again he starts doing same sacrifice, and again it goes on repeating. But there are some karmas, actions which we perform and get the result of liberation from this bondage. They are actions without any attachment to the action, without any egoism, without any doership, without any desire to get something, expectation. In this way, the actions are of two kinds, and we know one is bandhya, other is bandhya. These desires and all these actions, they are divided into two groups. One is bandhya. Bandhya means praiseworthy. They are fit to be praised. And other is bandhya. Bandhya, one who forces you to be bound to this world cycle. Bandhya, one who puts you into the bondage. So, here we shall see how the bondage is caused by the nature, and what are the means, what are the tricks we can follow to get rid of this bondage. And that is possible when we know the secrets of nature. And nature does everything by the help of three qualities. So these all points we shall discuss in this chapter in detail. Lord is going to explain all these points to Arjuna. Having learned this supreme knowledge, all the sages who practiced manana or reflection have attained perfection after being freed from bondage to the body. In the 13th chapter we saw body is the main cause of bondage, and now here we shall see body does all the actions by the play of qualities only. So we shall know all these secrets. How does the body becomes cause for bondage, and then we can do the needful. Idam itaha. Ita means after this. After this life. After this life means this life means the four kinds of births, that is four kinds of beings, human beings, and the lower beings, the human beings means which is born of uterus, that is Jarayuja. The other is andaj. Andaj, they are born from eggs, and udbija. Udbija, those who are the plant life which are born out of seeds or from the earth growing upward, udbija. And the fourth is svedaj, out of water. They are born. So in this way, four kinds of beings, they are strongly attached to the body. And because of this body attachment, they born again and again in the cycle of birth and death. They appear, they remain for some time, and they disappear. And again they will appear. And by doing some good actions, they enjoy good results, and by doing forbidden actions, they suffer, and again enjoying and suffering. In this way they are entangled in the cycle of birth and death. So, idam jnanam upasritya mama sadharmyam agataha sargepi nopajayante pralayena vyathanti cha. Lord assures, he gives the fact that knowing this, what I am going to explain to you, they who having taken refuge in this knowledge have attained to unity with me. Me means the Supreme Truth, are neither born at the time of creation, nor are they disturbed at the time of dissolution. They get liberation from this cycle. Knowing this knowledge, that knowledge I am going to explain to you. Having resorted to this knowledge, the sages, the knowers of the truth, the realized saints, are assimilated into my own nature. They have become one with me. They have attained to my being. They have become identical with me. They live in me with no thought of thou or I. There is no difference between their identity and me. They go beyond birth and death. There is no birth for them. When creation begins, and there is no death for them at the time of dissolution. Having reached me, they attain eternity, immortality, and perfection. Perfection, attainment of the knowledge of the self. By practicing the necessary means, they are neither born in the time of creation, nor are they disquieted at the time of dissolution. Knowledge of the self is eulogized by the Lord in this verse. This knowledge is supreme knowledge. So I am disclosing it to you, Arjuna. Many have come to me, many have attained the supreme truth. They have been freed from the bondage of birth and death. Now you also will attain the same if you follow me and understand what I explained to you. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavaha sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. He gives the clue, just this very beginning, how everything, all the creations, all these, the visible worlds, they get some form. How do they come to exist? This visible world, how do they come to exist? Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyam. He says, Lord says, I am the sower of the seeds. In the previous chapter we have seen this body is the field, and that's how, if the field is there and the farmer wants to farm, to do the farming, and do the business of sowing seeds and protecting it, harvesting in the end. So all these farmer will do. But where from he will get the seeds? So Lord says, I am the giver of the seed. I place all these seeds in these bodies. My womb is the great Brahma, Mahad Brahma. Mahad Brahma, the primordial nature. My womb is the great Brahma. In that I place the germ, the seeds. Thence, O Arjuna, is the birth of all beings. Birth of all beings means same thing, creations, sustenance and destructions of not only one world, innumerable worlds. So I am that being who places the germ in the womb. And what is the womb? That is called Great Brahma, Mahad Brahma, Mahad Brahma. Mama yonir Mahad Brahma, tasmin garbham dadhamyaham. I place the germ. Sambhavaha sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. O Arjuna, then only all these beings, they take birth, they come forward, they appear, they get manifested, and again they disappear in that. My womb is in nature. The cosmos is enveloped out of his nature. Evolved out of his nature. Nature is everything. Nature is called the great Brahma, for she is the resting place of the five subtle elements and also the Mahat cosmic mind. The cosmic mind is known as Mahat. She is called the great Brahma because through her the whole manifestation takes place. Whatever gets created, it is by her only, by that supreme power only. So it is called Mahat the Great. All changes arise out of this great nature. Creation means changes, appearance and disappearance. So she has got the name Moola Prakriti, or the primordial nature. Primordial nature, or the original principle. From the point of view of the unmanifested, she is called Abhyakt. The Vedantins call the Maya, illusion. The Sankhyas call her Prakriti, the nature. Nature means the qualities. See, the fire has its nature of the heat and the light. Without heat and without light, we don't know what is fire. So fire has its nature, we call it nature. Nature of fire, of the light and the heat. Similarly, the absolute truth, which is ever existence and ever presence, ever present everywhere in all conditions, that is called truth absolute, that which cannot be denied in any condition. And how to know it? Then its nature should be known. Then only we know it. Just as gold is known by its nature, the glittering, or the form of it, or its other qualities. Water is known as liquidity or clarity, transparency, and coldness. All these are qualities of nature. Similarly, the truth is known by its nature, and that nature is known by its qualities. Qualities. And this nature, when it is not seen, it is called unmanifested. Same thing, just as in the seed, there is the future tree unseen and unmanifested. And when the favorable conditions are supplied, available to the seed, then the seed starts germinating. It starts changing. That changing nature is called manifestation. And the two leaves and the root, all these slowly appear, and in future it gets the form of a big tree, and so much foliage and branches and sub-branches, everything. So, till then, it is unseen, unknown, and yet it is present in the seed. That state of existence is called unmanifested nature. And when it starts activating, then it becomes manifested. The the sprouts and the two leaves or the root or the future tree. That is called manifestation. And the same tree is present in the seed. That is called unmanifested tree. In this way, these creations, they are unmanifested in the very beginning, in the absolute truth, and slowly when it starts activating, then it is called manifested nature. Activating means changing, starting, growing. Many terms are given to this manifestation. Manifestation means changing, multiplying, growing. All these words give the similar meaning. So I think tomorrow we shall see further. We shall see in detail how this manifested and unmanifested nature and how it is stormed by different schools of thoughts and how it starts working and becoming manifested. And then what are the methods of its process activating, how it creates. All these we shall see thoroughly well as far as possible to know how this nature starts working and then starts binding every man, every being, and then only we can try to get rid of its bondage, which is cause for our miseries, problems of life, everything. Tomorrow we shall see. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasesate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai. Hari